sick and tired of running, being afraid of what I don't know. In my sinful state I was dying slow. Hey, all the bright lights and all the glamour, all the places I used to go, I got no desire to go no more.
It's another exciting morning here in the Spice Isle, and I have reasons why I'm describing it as exciting morning. Anyway, let me say good morning to the entire Trial Estate of Grenada, our sister isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. Good morning. How is everyone doing? GT with you this morning. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Tuesday, it's the 19th day of July, and I did say it was an exciting day in the Spice Isle. So maybe you could put one on one, see if it adds up for you. It's July the 19th. Maybe it's a day in the Spice Isle that maybe have some significant, something significant about this date for you as an individual, or maybe for your family or something. You say something about the 19th of July. So, hey. And we have another edition of Open Line today on To The Point, where you get the option of calling in, sharing your concerns, your thoughts about certain issues pertaining to this beautiful trial and state, or probably something of an international nature that you feel can also be of benefit to this nation. So now I kind of decipher that. I think I'm a person that's kind of a bit of a nationalist. I like to focus a whole lot on more what's happening in our beautiful Spice Isle. Yes, the outside world, it is important. Don't get me wrong, but I like to put a lot of emphasis in terms of what's happening here than wondering what's happening out there. Let the others deal with their stuff, and we certainly pay a lot of attention to ours. So you have the option of calling in. You know the number. It's 435-2041, 435-2041, and it's Open Line. You call in, share views, share concerns pertaining to issues that you would like to share with other listeners and viewers. And in terms of saying that, let me say good morning to the viewers via K105, to GBN TV. Yeah, K105. Yeah, that's easy to read. You're part of things. So let me say good morning to the listeners via K105 and the viewers via GBN TV, whether it's channel 7, 11, or channels 20. Good morning to you folks, and thanks for taking the option of viewing To The Point this morning. Those of you also via our social media platform, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, good morning to you also. Thanks for taking the option of viewing and listening there. We do have our very first caller. I think I did see someone calling, and I hope that person is there. Let's go over to the phone line and say good morning. Good morning to you, caller. How are you? Good morning, caller. How are you, caller?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're live.
Yeah. I have a lot to say, but I'll say a few now.
Yes.
Now, it's an open line, as you said.
Yes, it is.
Now, I am very much concerned. Our people, maybe citizens of Grenada or foreigners, coming to the government and saying that they're coming to help. For me, the word help means help and nothing else but help. That means bring something to the table. In other words, maybe you can help economically, physically, etc. But when you come in for a work, I don't think you come in to help. In fact, when you say you help, that means you come in to help. That means you have the skill, the knowledge, the skill, and the experience. But if somebody had the experience and they become retired in other parts of the world, they should come with money to say that they're coming to help. Because to me, they are coming into Grenada, possible to get a work, even if they do not reach the age, maybe 56, 58, or even if they're retired. They come in to collect money again because they come in to work. And then maybe according to the type of job they have been given by perhaps the government, they have to get pension again. Is this help? In fact, as far as I'm concerned, when you help, when you talk about help, you must somewhat take out the resources, whether it's educational resources, social resources, or all other resources. And I find the government must look into it seriously. And because I know of people who say possibly coming to help, and they have little or no qualification.
Okay.
So I want the government and others to look at it. And I want to end by saying that people, when they're writing on social media or they're sending the information, they should be able to punctuate well. And the person who put it up on social media, for example, you talk about I could give you an example. Let me look at it. Thank God for the foreign LAWYR apostrophe, the foreign liars that do so and so. You have to know when to use apostrophe S and when to use a S apostrophe. In fact, in Grenada, sometimes you could say St. George's apostrophe S, and sometimes you have to know when to say St. George. That's my take on our experience in Grenada. A lot of us are trying to educate people, and to some extent, they are not saying the right thing to educate people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution this morning. Interesting in terms of what the caller said pertaining to individuals coming to this beautiful isle of ours, and maybe not always they coming here. The reason for coming here is not always genuine. Sometimes I certainly do go to the direction in which you certainly speak of. Let's go to the phone lines. Take another caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Morning, JC. Good. Like you, feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
And the sun is shining, so you didn't make it better. I want to support your first caller. Mm-hmm. I think he normally makes some valuable contribution, although some people don't like the contribution like people like he and myself and others make. Anyway, but I was doing some reflection this morning based on 2 clips that your colleague played. One was by Kerwin James, mm-hmm. and one was on Kellyanne Fraser Price. And they were high in praise for them, and I think they ought to. But what I think we don't do is just use those things to help people. I mean, especially younger people, to understand that they could achieve that, not because they won't get money or glory, but they have the same potential if they apply themselves. Over the years, we have really, done a disservice to young people because we have not inculcated in them from a very young age the issue of discipline, of stick-to-itness, of, that kind of thing. And we have, to expose them to shortcuts.
I understand.
Shortcuts, techniques. And sometimes they don't even get the technique right. So I would think that when we highlight those things, it tells the people, look, you can become like that. Denzel Washington would tell you that a woman wrote a little piece of thing on a paper for him. Mm-hmm. And that inspired him to become the person he is. We need to find a way, and then maybe there's where we need to probably, and I would urge the government to encourage or help to support a mentorship program where we help to mentor young people, or not just even young people, where women, for instance, I know the Prime Minister is big on opening up opportunity to women. This I think is excellent. But I think we need to create the structure, so the opportunity and the space for they could flourish. Like I really feel sad that a lot of women want to do much more, but the odds are stacked against them. For instance, I have an organization, and the most people that have shown interest in my organization are women. But what happens? Men are mothers, they work, they have to go home, and they have, many different things to do, so they can't get the time.
And the full participation in the organization. I understand that.
And then we say, well, look, they want to be involved. when we look at even how the level of women in politics, mm-hmm. is very, scanty. Although we have the most people women, female politicians. But I think we have to create the enabling space for and possibility for women to thrive. Same thing with youth. I'm glad also that the Prime Minister is big on getting the youth also involved. And also the elderly. The elderly is a forgotten species in this country. especially people who have retired and maybe they don't consider them productive. But we have a lot to offer. Not because they're pompous or we think, like the young gentleman who speaks, I'm sure he's a retiree. And I mean, you can get a lot from him. You may not like his style, there's a lot we can learn from one another. And if you create the space or the possibility that people can share, I don't know how long I will live again, but I would like to give as much as I can.
All right, caller. Caller, take another 30 seconds and wrap up, please.
Yeah, so I'd say that we need to really, put our mouth where we're, put our thing where our mouth is. And finally, the issue of heat, I do think, and maybe GT, maybe you could be the one who initiates a real conversation on heat, and there are a number of people that could contribute to that. If you want, I can call you. I can give you my number, 416-1247, and we could work on that. 416-1247.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you also for your contribution this morning, caller. It's to the point. It's Tuesday, the 19th day of July. It's another open line segment for To the Point today. And your views are welcome in terms of phone calls here, folks. Don't forget, just try to keep it short, callers, and to the point in terms of the information you like to share. And so you will get, I know sometimes you have lots of information you like to share, but sometimes, let's keep it to a minimal in terms of the length, in terms of what you would like to share. We certainly missed out on that caller there. Hey, don't forget, folks, coming up this morning at 10 a.m., there will be that post-cabinet press briefing. The Honorable Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, your Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, National Security, Home Affairs, Public Administration, Information and Disaster Management. And also we have Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, Minister of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs. The Honorable Ron Redhead, Minister of State with responsibility for youth and sport in the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture. So the Honorable Prime Minister alongside with two other cabinet ministers will be there. And that's of course with that's post cabinet press briefing to come at 10 a.m. and we here at GBN will be carrying it live. And there's option, and callers out there, probably during the course of the press briefing, you may have a question or two that maybe the journalists per se who are there may not ask, and you may say, and you may also have a question you want to say, you want to ask the minister, the Prime Minister and other ministers. You want to share your concern about that. You can certainly do that by calling us here GBN, and then we will certainly take your question, the question you have into perspective, and throw it out to the Prime Minister and the other ministers. All right, we certainly will do that. Let's go over to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
All right, and you?
I'm doing good. Good.
What I'm calling about is that Sunday, I heard an interview with a gentleman and Mr. Forrester, and he was interviewing him concerning a agro-industry processing plant, like. And long this thing should have been introduced, or someone should have really come forth with this kind of industry, because we really need it. We have a lot of fruits wasting, and everyone used to pass, even myself, by the street seeing these wastes and say, why don't they open some factories?
I agree.
And when I heard that, I said, thank God. And I went to God. I was wondering, why didn't he come forth before and introduce himself that this thing could have happened in the nation to build it? Anyway, he came forth. And I wait to God that this situation take full effect, and all the blessing to him. And I congratulate him for that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Sometimes there are a lot of folks who have these ideas, per se, pertaining to, agro-industry, and, for some reason or the other, they may have not come forward before. For their own reasons and other reasons per se also. But if it can happen in this area, we certainly will welcome it, because we do have a lot of fruits and so forth that are just spoiling from time to time. So, and if they could be made good use of, we certainly will welcome it. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, GT. How are you today?
I'm doing good as always. I'm doing good.
Good tobacco, well pressed. I want to give you a little thing today.
Go right ahead.
In the early days, let's say between Granans, Callis, Woburn, Belmont, and Springs, there used to be one midwife, and based in Woburn, top Woburn.
All right.
So all from the village like Callis and all these areas, what used to happen when a woman is going to give birth is like in a village, a group of them, while she get during the pain. Elderly will get a grass, cut a grass, a heap it with this razor grass, a heap of grass, a field of grass, cut it, make a cutter, put a stone on it. That now is to keep down the pain.
Really?
And a few of those others leaving and go to Woburn. When they reach the Woodlands Junction, they will split up. Some go bottom, some go top. In case she leaving home to go to another case, they'll block her at the top junction.
Wow.
Right? And then when they leave to all the stone, and then there's a set singing, a set of hymn songs. All that they say is to help keep down the pain. And then they'll be preparing a bottle. So when the midwife come, one of the most piece of things they need is a bottle for that woman have to blow in that bottle, and that will make the baby come fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's fast because look,
interesting there.
You try it as a man. Just try to blow in a bottle, and what happens to you?
Well, I don't think I want to try blowing into a bottle.
No, well, it's a simple thing, you know. The wind is not going nowhere, so it's coming back to you and force. Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Right.
All right.
So that's the signal. Good tobacco, well pressed.
Thanks so much for the information, man.
Right.
It certainly is welcome. And he calls in from time to time in the morning time and gives us some history pertaining to that. And that's certainly, I'm learning a lot from him lately in terms of information he shares and that bit of history that he throws out from time to time. I really do appreciate it. It's to the point. We're going to take this caller in this segment. After this caller, we will take a break and come right back. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay, sir.
No, I have a slight problem. I wonder if it can help.
Tell me.
When the Kid Mitchell Power was in... Dr. Kit Mitchell and Mr. was in power, they said that it would take $1 to $1.5 billion to clear up the debt of the people that did not get pension and gratuity. I heard Mr. Richard Duncan said 450 to 500 million. Okay? And now Mr. Dickon Mitchell coming forward, he said 60 million. Who should I believe?
Who should you believe?
Yes.
Well, caller, what could I tell you? There's not much I could actually tell you about it. But if the powers that be says that's the figure it's working with in the present, I think that's the direction you should go with.
The present one?
The present one.
Well, let's watch and see.
All right.
Because, I find Dr. Kit Mitchell was excessive. And then the other one come on a little less. I will say sometimes, and then if I come less.
All right.
So,
all right, caller. As I said, you deal with the one that is present because, sometimes we don't want always to dwell on stuff of the past. So if the present one is the direction that is one that we have to work with, we work with the present.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. It's K105 and you're on your FM dial. Also, GBN TV channel 711 and 20 on your via television. Folks, we're taking a short break. It's to the point for today, Tuesday. Let's take that break. When we come back, we take more of your phone calls and of course, with all of your concerns and more, we certainly will appreciate those calls. We're coming right back. Don't you dare touch your dial.
I want to be free.
Walla! You come to my house again, eh? What's up?
Come for the thing. Hold on. I can't talk to you about this push-up window. You want I could slide?
So where you get one now?
Buy on the Spot Hardware. After 20 years, it's still gliding. Like the first day I buy it. Like the best buy I ever made.
On the Spot Hardware, the first choice for long-lasting gliding windows.
Look me there.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, The Granlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Granlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
Hubbard's is giving away loads of prizes with Live Free for 1 year 3.0. Same promotion, more prizes to be won. Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big every 2 weeks. Win! Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Cash savings account from the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. Free electricity for 1 year. Free Coca-Cola for 1 year. Free property insurance for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Free lunch packages from the Creative Chef. 1 free gas cooker. Free internet and cable for 1 year. And free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 28 to September 16th, 2022. Live Free for 1 year 3.0 is brought to you in part by Chief Brand Products, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Carib Breweries, Danny, Flow, Creative Chef, Grenlec, Supreme Bleach, Promos, Sol, Dutch Lady, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to The Point for today, Tuesday, V19, today of July. It's To The Point here on K105 and GBN TV. Let's say good morning to all of our listeners this morning via K105 and the viewers via GBN TV. Good morning to you and special welcome to one and all. And pretty soon I will say good morning to our social media, of course, viewers this morning, especially those of you via Facebook. We'll be getting your comments in this morning. And I've been running into trouble for that. Hey, some folks will meet me, hey, GT, it doesn't read me comments, you know. I apology for that. And certainly will be looking to this morning. I will be reading your comments, all right? I promise you that. Promise I will be looking at your comments and reading them. I'm actually in the process of trying to obtain them right now as we speak. All right, so we're going to take your phone calls once again, 435-2041. It's an open line. Let's go to the phone line and say good morning to this caller. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, and how are you?
I'm doing okay, my caller. I'm doing
okay. Good. I am a bit of concern over the nation's children, over the nation's youth.
Tell us.
And the things that are the behavior and the things that happen with our children and our young people, I strongly believe it is because there is a breakdown in some of the things that they are taught, especially in school. Now, when I was a little girl, when I was a child, maybe I was 7, 8, I remember every morning in school, the principal would go up on top of a table and he would talk to the children, talk to us about the Word of God. Let us know there is a God, how we should relate to that God, how that God relate to us. And he would read scripture, he would read the Bible. Now, that had nothing to do with religion, a denomination. It had to do with making the children, the next generation, the people who would grow up and take over, give them an awareness and a consciousness that there is a being called God who created us and that we ought to know how to relate to him. And so I am seeing a breakdown in this over the years, and that's why we have so much violence and so much unlawful behavior taking place among our children and our youth. So I am suggesting to this new government that they bring back that kind of a thing in the school. Not religion, not about denomination, but the Word of God. Let them know this does not apply only to religion. It applies to humanity, the Word of God. So bring back that in the school where they read the Word of God to the children. We had to memorize, I remember I had to memorize Acts chapter 1. And we had to do it. So, and then 1 Corinthians 13 and these things are all in school. So I am suggesting to the Minister of Education that he bring back the Bible, the Word of God, in our schools and our young people. So he say, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Because when you get old, you don't really want to bother with it. So teach the children about God, and we will surprise at the kind of nation we would build. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution this morning. And certainly understand the direction in which the caller is going at. But some folks may take you to task with that caller by saying, the world has changed. You understand? Everything has changed. And people don't accept things as they used to, as before, in terms of, being taught religion. There are some countries around the world where it's forbidden to even teach religion in school. And I as a youngster grew up doing the things that you have just mentioned, where the principal or whoever is directing the whatever we have on mornings, the assembly per se. And you are certainly correct about that. But some folks may take you to task. And let's take some comments from our social media page this morning, Facebook to be precise. And this particular comment is coming from an individual saying that I want to zero in on Carriacou and Petit Martinique first. And that's to congratulate Tevin Andrew and hitting the ground by giving the PM their first van and to move around the sister isle also. And we saw the repairs of the PM, the PM police station, the roof, the state of it per se was covered from tarpaulin and is now replaced with galvanized. So that's individuals sharing of course some thoughts there pertaining to what's happening in the sister isle of Carriacou. And we also have some other comments in which they are saying, let's see who else is making a comment this morning. Let's go back down a wee bit before I grab the scholar. Another, of course, comment is coming. Did the NDC government start paying that twice monthly, as they say? So let's go back to the phone line and see who we have. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Everything is quiet and cool.
Yes, on my side it's okay. What about you, sir?
Well, it's okay with me for now.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, caller.
Yes. Now, I appreciate quite a lot what the last caller had mentioned concerning the school, And let me just slow down this thing a little bit.
I will certainly agree with you on that. Lower that phone down, or the radio or television per se, lower it down just a wee bit.
That's okay now?
Yes, let's go.
Yes. So, yes, because, the children have to be taught from small certain things what they need to do, especially in the spiritual affairs. I remember when I was a child, I used to, in my school days, very young, and never forget those words that were taught in the school. Why did God made you? And then the answer was, God made me to know Him, to love Him, to serve Him in this world, and to be happy with Him forever in the next. And that stayed with me now, and an old man now, have grandchildren and things like that. And I never forget this thing. And these are those things that really help you to behave. Now, I was not a Christian per se, or tied up in religion. But if I can tell you, I was not a violence man. I never liked to cuss any filthy or four-letter words or anything like that. I mean, I was not a saint anyhow, But I tried to behave myself as a child should behave, as based on what I learned. All right, cool.
Caller, take another 30 seconds and wrap up, please.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, what I want to encourage Grenadian people to do, to behave, let us try and behave ourselves and cooperate with the new government, but try and not to show too much a slang on the past government and saying, well, they never do anything. They did quite a lot where I'm concerned, quite a lot. But I'm still would say and encourage, let us do what we're supposed to do to encourage the new government, pray for him, pray for them, and so on,
Okay.
Because Grenada is a very nice place, and let us, what's happening overseas and things like that, as though some people doesn't have a conscience about other human beings. But we all have sinned. Everybody, no matter who you are, we all have sinned, and God loved us. So He wants us to turn to Him and to know Him individually. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, caller, also for your contribution this morning. It's to the point. It's moving down to 30 minutes after the hour this morning, and we're taking your phone calls. And quickly, we see another caller coming in there. Let's see if we could entertain that caller this morning. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Oh, fine. Just a little thing. I know Ms. Jeremiah does not mind her name being called, but to tell her she's fairly inaccurate in terms of saying there are no prayers and things in school. I know at least, I know several schools. While one I'm very familiar with the prayer, at least 5 times a day they have prayers. And so, but in the denominational schools, it is easier to do that.
Okay.
In a school that encompasses everybody, Muslim, Hindu, whatever, a person going up and pray may offend another religion, whatever. But I do know that in a lot of schools, quite a few schools, the people pray regularly. Right. So it is very inaccurate to say that there is no prayers in schools and that sort of thing. I don't know how long she have been. Well, she's probably not familiar with it as I am. I'm very familiar with schools and that sort of thing, with a particular school and several schools. So she should retract that a little bit and then know the norm with this non-denominational where everybody goes. It is difficult to just pray overall in an assembly. I knew when I went to GBSS on every Wednesday, there were preachers from every religion, and you went to your Assemblies, went in that direction.
I agree. I remember that also, Caller. There used to be it was called Religious Day. And,
everybody went there.
And you went to your own denomination.
Right. I can't tell you that happens nowhere. I don't know. I could easily.
It's one of the reasons I responded by saying also times has changed. You know, a lot of things are not in the curriculum as they used to.
Right.
Sometimes it's only changed. You know, and some folks may say also we may not want to go back there, even though it was good and it has benefited us as individuals to grow the way we are today. You know, but times has changed. Thank you for your contribution this morning, caller. Okay, it's to the point here on K105 and the GBN TV. It's moving down to, should I say moving up to 27 minutes before the top of the hour here on To the Point. We're taking your phone calls. Don't forget, folks, coming up at 10 a.m. this morning, the post-cabinet press briefing. The Honorable Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, he will be in attendance. Also, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette. He's the Minister for Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs. Also looking for the Honorable Ron Redhead, the Minister of State with the responsibility for youth sports in the Ministry of Education, Youth Sports and Culture. And viewers, callers per se, if you have a question, we will try our best we here at GBN to ask if it's possible to get the questions in. So you probably could share your questions with us, and we will try to pass it on to the journalists who will be participating in the press conference in terms of when the question part pops in. And you may be a listener of yours, they may have a question that you may like to ask one of the ministers or the Prime Minister. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to just reinforce what Ms. Jeremiah said. We talk a lot about schools, but we have to look at the homes. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of youths who are not going to church. It's the mother, father going, but children are not going, especially the boys. So we need to talk about family life.
I agree.
Thank you.
Have a good day, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. Looking at social media this morning, let me see if there's any interesting conversation going on. There's interesting conversation going on. Some I may not want to share on air. You know, so that I don't think it's the direction that I want to carry on air right now. And I want to see any question, an interesting bit of comment being thrown out, I will certainly share. Let me check my WhatsApp this morning. No comments via WhatsApp. It's To the Point. It's open line. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Am I on To the Point?
Yes, you are live on K105 GBN TV. To the Point, you're live. Go right ahead with your contribution.
Listen, I have a concern that I would like to share.
Sure.
The lab. When you go to the lab, especially now, you have to go up that stairs, and then you have to go back down that stairs, across the street, and up to the second floor. I would really like to see maybe some Imani workers or somebody there to assist the elderly.
All right.
So that when they get there, you know, you have a runner. That's the word I think I want to use, a runner, so that they can run and get paid the fees, come back and bring the receipt for the elderly.
All right.
I would really like to see something like that being done.
All right, caller, thank you. Well, the Honourable Minister of Health will be live in the post-cabinet press briefing this morning. Maybe it's one of the questions we could probably throw out to him. Probably they may be thinking about ideas in terms of improving situations like that. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, and how are you?
GT.
Good morning.
Yeah. I agree. Are you getting a feedback?
No, I'm not.
All right, okay, well, there we go. I agree with the coconut man. When you come to help, the man who living in the coconut, when you come to help, you don't need to get no money. But a lot of them putting it before behind. They come and walk and without work permit, and they're getting money and all them kind of things. So I ain't finished yet. I'll call back again after the carnival. So God bless you. Back to you.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Still trying to decipher just a wee bit, but I appreciate your call. 435-2041. It's to the point. It's Tuesday, the 19th day of July. Let's go back to the phone line. Let's take another call. Caller, good morning. How are you? Good morning to you, caller. I think we don't have a caller there, or they're probably not paying attention. Remember, callers, I guess we've been doing this for a while. Don't forget, you listen via the phone line and not via your radio or via the television. You listen via the phone line and speak to me via the telephone line. It's to the point here on K105. Let's go back to the phone line once again. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. What about you, sir?
Okay enough, I think.
Okay.
I want to highlight something that I think most people have not taken note of. I take note of it because my understanding of the Constitution is that the post of Attorney General is a constitutional post, not a political appointed post. And right now we have a situation. Well, let me highlight another post that is constitutional and not politically appointed. That's untouchable people. When we say constitutional posts, we're talking about people that cannot be hired and fired by the Prime Minister and so on. But you have political posts. You have constitutional posts. The Attorney General is one. The Auditor General is one. And such kind of posts, right? You have a situation right now where the Minister of what do you call it again? Well, the Minister of they call it Justice. How come it's slipping me all of a sudden? Is at the same time the Minister, the Attorney General. How do you call it? What is the post then? Miss Carter Joseph right now is Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs. Right, Legal Affairs. And my understanding is that two posts supposed to be separate because the Attorney General post is to advise the Cabinet on constitutional and legal issues.
All right.
Right now we have a situation where the same person is holding that two posts. And somehow something seems to be wrong about that. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm getting your point.
To the extent that needs reviewing. Because you can't have the cat watching the cheese and advising the owner where he should put the cheese. So you understand what I'm saying? Something seems to be wrong somewhere and people need to address that. Some lawyers need to come and explain to us what is going on there. The Prime Minister needs to explain to us what is going on there. To me, something is wrong somewhere. I'm just highlighting it.
Okay.
Because one post is political, as Minister for Labor, as Minister the name's slipping me again. But
well, I do get your point where you're coming across with.
When it comes to Attorney General, that post is not a political post, it's a constitutional post. And so you can't have one person holding that two posts. You have to have an outsider to advise the Cabinet on on constitutional and legal issue. Well, she's Minister of Legal Affairs.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. It's K105. It's to the point. And we probably, I'm not sure of the legalities of what the caller was actually speaking about. He could be right, he could be wrong. But probably one of these mornings we do have someone who can explain the positions in the manner in which he's trying to figure it out. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. How are you? Caller, good morning. How are you? Seem to have a caller not participating there for whatever reason. Well, we drew for a break. Let's take that break. And when we come back, we get into a final segment of To The Point for today. Let's take that break. We're coming right back here on K105 GBN TV. It's To The Point for today, Tuesday. Let's take that break. We're coming right back.
insurance. You've heard about it before, seen the commercials, but have you ever really thought about how life insurance can benefit you and your family? Let's look at 5 ways life insurance can benefit and protect you and your family through life's expected and unexpected. 1. It provides finances for your child's education. 2. It can help you in providing collateral for loans. 3. It provides living benefits. 4. It provides a source of income upon retirement. And 5. It provides finances for final expenses such as funeral, cremation costs, and other related expenses. Contact Demerara Mutual today and speak to an agent to select a policy that best suits your existing needs.
Hubbard's is giving away loads of prizes with Live Free for 1 year 3.0. Same promotion, more prizes to be won. Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big every 2 weeks. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Cash savings account from the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. Free electricity for 1 year. Free Coca-Cola for 1 year. Free property insurance for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Free lunch packages from the Creative Chef. 1 free gas cooker. Free internet and cable for 1 year. And free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 28 to September 16, 2022. Live Free for 1 year 3.0 is brought to you in part by Chief Brand Products, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Carib Breweries, Danny, Flow, Creative Chef, Grenlex, Supreme Bleach, Promos, Sol, Dutch Lady, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling Company, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, and the Food Fair Supermarket. Terms and conditions apply.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Welcome back to the point for today, Tuesday, the 19th day of July, and I'm seeing via our social media page, especially Facebook, a lot of conversation being stirred up pertaining to the one where a caller calling pertaining to prayer at school, and I'm seeing lots of individuals has got into a debate in terms of this, and we've seen one comment being by, of course, a particular listener viewer via Facebook is saying that the lady that called in and mentioned about prayer in school, which is not a bad thing, but based on the different religion in which it is not going to happen. And the Catholic and the Anglicans are having prayer in their schools, but the public schools, especially in the U.S., do not have it because of, let me get that extra bit of information, because of a Muslim student took it to a high court and it was struck down, so no prayer in public school. I guess that's from an international point of view there. Also, we see another, of course, comment here. Grenada is mostly a Christian nation and is by way of following the teaching of Christ, and the other nationalities present may be practitioners of their religion, such as Hindu, Islam, Judaism, etc., and in smaller numbers. So that's just some comments I'm reading there via our Facebook page. We do have a caller online. Let's go back to the telephone line. Caller, good morning.
Yes,
how are you?
morning, DT again. I'm calling in relation to the issue the caller raised about the Attorney General and the Minister of Legal Affairs. I'm sure it's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
It's a practice. Dr. Francis Alexis was Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General. He's a luminary when it comes to constitutional issues. It have been sometimes some governments prefer to have the both the two roles be performed by the same individuals. And some other governments prefer that it be separate. But it is totally within the scheme of law.
Okay.
And the Constitution.
Thank you for your contribution, caller. All right. So we have a bit of clear up on that there, cleared up for us in terms of, so I guess the caller who was thinking maybe it's not correct to have one person carry the two portfolios. So just a bit of clarification on that issue there. 435-2041. We're looking at 15 minutes moving up before the top of 10. May I remind you once again, don't forget the post-cabinet press briefing coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. It will be carried live here on GBN TV and also via K105, and also folks, don't forget it will be facilitated by the Honorable Prime Minister, that's Deacon Mitchell, Senator Honorable Jonathan McCret, and the Honorable Ron Redhead. Of course, these ministers will be there along with the Honorable Prime Minister. Let's go to the phone line. Guess we lost that caller there. Folks, you have the option of calling, and those of you who are viewing, good morning to you. Those of you who are listening, good morning to you, and thanks for making to the point your choice of getting your points and ideas that you may have across to the nation. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Good morning to you and your followers. It is totally legal to have the Minister of Legal Affairs be the Attorney General, because don't forget that person sits in cabinet every time. So whether it's a member of the regular cabinet or not, the AG always sits in cabinet. So it's easy if the person is already a regular cabinet member and they also have a background in law. And some of us have very short memories. A couple of years ago, we had someone who has no background in law. Minister Gregory Boeing, actually, and a cabinet member, actually acts as Attorney General. That one was very laughable. That one was very strange, but it is not uncommon. The Constitution supports it, and the AG may either be a member of the regular cabinet or someone who is not a cabinet member, but that person is ex officio, sitting in cabinet every time. So that's the reason why it's done that way. So that thinking is not correct from that caller who made the query.
All right. Thank you, caller, for your contribution.
You're most welcome.
It's K105 on your dial. Still looking at social media this morning in terms of contribution and comments there from listeners and viewers via Facebook. And as I've been saying a while ago, interesting conversation going on. Some of it I don't want to get into it on air via here this morning. Okay, it may just stir up some more debate sometime, which I personally may not want to accommodate. So sometime I'm going to leave some of the comments right there. The number once again, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's take another caller, put him on air. Good morning to you, caller. How are you?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I think the arrangement is fairly simple. The Attorney General must be somebody with a background in law. If the Minister of Legal Affairs has no relationship with law in terms of background, it is necessary that the Attorney General be a separate person from the Minister of Legal Affairs. In this case, Claudia Joseph is a lawyer, and she's a member of cabinet, and she can also be the Attorney General because she's a lawyer. She has a background in law. Simple, basic, and straightforward. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution, and certainly do understand 100%. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I must say that I really support the caller that supported Miss Joseph. Yes, she has the qualification, and this is nothing wrong with putting her in this two portfolio because she has the ability. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And we're moving on here to the point. We're in the final home stretch for the program this morning. 10 minutes moving up before 10 o'clock. Let's go back to the telephone line. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Yes, good morning. I would like to make a contribution. It's in connection with a lot of people calling and saying that you need experience for this and that. Hello, people. The situation is you don't really need experience. the previous health minister knew nothing about health. The prime minister has no experience in being a prime minister. So people, please give people a chance to let them do the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution also, caller, and I'm certainly in agreement with you with that. You know, sometimes experience is something that's not always, it could benefit you a whole lot, having a bit of an experience in a particular field, but sometimes you could most likely perform that task and perform it, of course, with dignity, in the process of doing it, even though you are inexperienced in the task ahead of. Good morning to you, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
And good morning to the listening on Gene audience on Facebook.
Yes, go ahead.
His last caller I endorsed and second his statement. It's true the people are new and they are saying that they are inexperienced. But let's not forget that Dennis Cornwall was a past PS in the 1990 to 95 NDC Bradford government. And he had to leave, or they had fired him, I think, and he went to ECCB. So the guy have knowledge of government. Also Lennox Andrews. All of them are ministers now. He was a PS also in finance, an advisor. So he also do work with the ECCB. So what's wrong with these people about their inexperience? There is people in there with experience. It's true you're going to have new people like the Kieran James, the Ron Redhead, but they was past senators, isn't it?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, so what is the problem? Give them time to do what they got to do. I heard they commenting on some IMF issue. You heard of that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I need to get into that. Also, the Constitution. Do you know the Grenada Constitution should be taught in school? You don't think so?
I would agree. Because
when you look at the Grenada Constitution, it is made up of 9 chapters. Chapter 1, I won't go into everything, but chapter 1 comprises of section 1 to 18 and deal with the protection of fundamental rights and freedom, such as right to life, right to personal liberty, protection from slavery and forced labor. All this is in the Constitution now. Chapter comprises of section 19 to 23 and deal with the establishment of the Governor General. The Governor General represents the Queen here in Grenada. So all these things we need to know, and lawyers need to know that as well when they come in to talk to people. They need to study the Constitution and teach it in the schools. The policemen need to know the Constitution as well. Rollo play a great role in talking every day about constitutional reform and constitution, but we need to take this thing serious. Chapter 3 is the last one I'm going to touch on. It deals with the establishment of Parliament and the executive. All these things we need to know. So we keep talking and talking, and nothing has been done here. And finally, my last point, sir. Since the change of government, I realized there is a different mode of apparatus when it comes to the police, yeah? And which I commend a lot. When you look around, you can see four vehicles moving around with a light. I think this is very good. It will help prevent crimes, because once people see the police, they will think twice,
Okay.
And since the change of government in St. Andrews area especially, I was recommend and commend the police for that. Good job. They go around in force, entourage. They go around in force with the vehicles and the light, and that's what you need in order to cut down crime, sir.
All right,
the government is doing good. You can feel the change. You can feel the vibes with the people. If you look in Grenville on Saturday, Friday, everybody enjoying, and there's movement in the economy. So give the people some time. That's what I want to say.
Thanks for your contribution, caller. It's K105 on your dial, also GBN TV. It's to the point for today, Tuesday the 19th. It's 4 minutes moving up before the top of the hour. We're getting set to wrap the program up this morning in just a few minutes per se. Still have time to accommodate a couple more of your calls. May I remind you once again, don't forget the post-cabinet press briefing coming up at the top of the hour. The Honorable Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell will be there. Also, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette and the Honorable Ron Redhead. All three will be there. And as I was saying, if you have a question that you would like to ask the ministers and the Prime Minister, we certainly will like to, we'll try per se, during the press conference, we'll certainly try to ask it. If there's a particular question you'd like to ask the Prime Minister, the Senator Honorable Jonathan Lacrette and the Honorable Ron Redhead, we will pass those questions on when the opportunity do arise. Let's take another caller this morning. Caller, good morning. How are you? Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hello, sir. I called back again to point out something, relative to what I pointed at first.
May you make it short?
The Prime Minister can appoint the lady or anybody as Minister for Labour, Minister for Legal Affairs. He cannot fire her. Let's say they want to have a falling out between the Prime Minister and the Minister for Legal Affairs. He can fire that lady or fire anybody who is hired in that post. But can he fire her as Attorney General? They need to answer that question, please. People who are backing up the idea of having one person in that two posts, they don't understand that complicated aspect of it. Can he fire her as Attorney General?
Okay, thank you.
He can fire her with the legal post. They appoint them. Cabinet posts as appointed to the political aspect of it. But can he fire her as Attorney General?
Okay, caller.
Check that out.
Thank you for your contribution there. That caller was asking that particular question there for us this morning. And just taking a quick look at social media this morning, and this particular, of course, a listener viewer making a comment and saying, in terms of the previous caller who spoke about pertaining to a lot of police officers have been seen around, they're saying that they need to see a lot more foot patrols in the villages. So they're asking the Royal Grenada Police Force to probably get some more foot patrol officers being in the various villages, and I, for one, will applaud that if it certainly able to happen. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Is this the topic about politics, or could you change the topic?
You can change the topic. It is an open line, caller, so you can speak of anything that you would like to.
Now, this morning I've been listening to one of the parties talking about the money that was given to the winner of the Soca Mona. And at the moment, I think the Carnival Committee has a $50,000 prize.
Prize money, yes.
Now, I know one of the artists has complained that the money is not enough. Now, I could understand if there is a criteria and a quota as to what is expected, what you should and shouldn't do concerning the amount of money that are going to be allocated to you, because I think they're asking for $100,000. Now, I believe that there is artists that go out there and do a good job. What I'm concerned about is that you may have a good rhythm, but your vulgarity in terms of your speech,
presentation, performance, also.
You get So I believe probably the SNP have a guideline, because this money is going out, these songs are going out to the world. You can't go on stage and perform and say a lot of vulgar words and expect to get $100,000 for it. So I think they should have a criteria. The artists, you go, you do your research, and you see topics, things they want to sing about, and you put it like old-time calypso, but we're going into soca. So, and you put it into soca to make it acceptable for all. And I believe at the end of the day, if they get it right, it will be nice that then you can say, okay, because I don't want to go and put out $50,000 in terms of promotion and get $50,000 in price. It doesn't matter. It doesn't worth it. So for me personally, I think the vulgarity, the artists have to go and do proper research, because if you listen to some of the soca music, it's terrible in terms of the words. You understand? But I know.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution, caller. We're getting set to wrap the program for this morning. It's already at 10 a.m. And we certainly do appreciate all the callers this morning who have chimed in and shared their views and concern. And we're getting set to wrap up to the point for today. It's Tuesday, V19. Just before we wrap, let me just take at least two comments from the social media this morning. And we say that the police need to be very urgent in to check with the liquor license, entertainment license, opening and closing hours for businesses, places, places, liquor shops, entertainment places, etc. That's one comment there from a particular listener or viewer via social media, saying that what the police should look into. So this is where we come to the end of the program for this morning. Pleasure, of course, hosting it for you. I am GT, and I'll be around with you tomorrow morning for another edition of To The Point. So once again, thanks to all of you who have called in and expressed your views and concerns this morning. Those of you who are viewing via social media, once again, those of you who made your comments, thank you so much for your comments. Those of you who are viewing via GBN TV, I want to say thank you also. Those of you who listen via K105, thank you so much once again. Join us again for another edition of To The Point. It's Tuesday the 19th. Have yourselves a great day. Join us again for another edition. Have a peaceful day. God bless.